Hello, teachers. This is the instructional guide for Primary 3, Term 1, Week 2. For this week, there are two booklets. The first booklet, right, or rather, shall I put it, the second booklet, we will do it in class. Okay, so you have to demonstrate to them and no need to assign as homework, right? I'll talk about that second booklet in a bit. So let's start with the first booklet. The first booklet is, first of all, is on addition, right, without renaming. And some students may not understand what the meaning of sum is yet. So one way to explain is no sum means all together. So if the question is what is the sum of 4 and 5, right? You can simply rephrase it as what is 4 and 5 all together. Basically, it's addition. Okay. Briefly take them through this bar model, right? Because later on there's one question, which is a very simple one that that is related to this. But I think there should be no problem. It's quite simple to understand. Okay, so guided practice. Get them to do in class everything. Okay, I don't think this one you really need to teach them, right? So just make sure that do it in class. They should be able to do this on their own. Okay. Yeah, and then after that, the next segment of the class is to do addition without renaming. So what you can do is simply, right, instead of going through this process, right, I would like you to just skip to the guided practice. All right, so for guided practice, demonstrate question 1 with them. Okay, so how do you demonstrate? Please just show them. In fact, I would just ignore all these steps. Okay, and just go straight to one part here, right? So just when you explain, it is important to explain your addition in terms of place value. So I would usually say, okay, this is 3 ones plus 6 ones, right? So equals to 9 ones. 4 tens plus 3 tens equals to 7 tens. And then 2 hundreds, there's nothing here, so it's just 2 hundreds. 3,000 plus 0,000, so it's just 3,000. So the answer, 3,243 plus 36 equals to 3,279, right? So remember, as you explain, right, please explain addition in terms of place values. Okay, then after that, you can get them to do the rest of the guided practice. Again, right, they do not have to do these steps here. Okay, just go to the last step, right, for them to do. Okay, so I don't think they need this process. Okay, so a few more questions here, and they are done for the guided practice. Okay, so this is should be fairly easy. And then after that, I would like you to skip all these questions because we don't really need to do them. And I would like you to just get them to do question G and question H in class, right? Make sure that they do the working out. Some students may like to do it by mental calculation, right? Adding by place values, but by mental calculation. But please strongly encourage or require them to write this out instead. Okay, or they should have no problem with these questions. And then we can skip. Questions like this are a bit tedious. Choose 2 numbers with a sum of 9,999. You can just briefly talk about them. Okay, but I don't really require them to do it in class because it is quite tedious in this case. Perhaps, let me see. Just using one, you can maybe just explain one question in class, right? After that, it's just about addition. It's just about getting them to, add up, and get answers. So color 2 numbers with a sum of 9,999, right? So they have to trial and error. All right. Of course, it's calculated because in order to get 9,999, right, you need to have 9 ones. So all these numbers here, which one add up will give you 9 ones? It seems that there's only 4 and 5, right? So make sure, right? So please go through this with them. This is important for the later questions there, right? And then what about B, right? Which numbers will give you 9 ones? It's either this and this, this and this, and this and this. Okay, so get them to take note of the place value. So if this is definitely one of them, because all are zeros, right? This is the compulsory one. Okay, then after that 1, right? They need to get 9 tenths here. So 1 10 plus which one will give you 9 tenths? It should be this one. All right, so the idea is not to just add everything up together, but they need to do some they need to do some what do you call a prediction, calculated prediction. Okay, all right. And then maybe get them to do one question on their own, right? So again, this one, right? 9, remind them, in order to get 9 here, 9 ones, okay, this must be one of them. Okay, and then after that, get them to think which others, when you add on, right, will give you 9 tens, will give you 900s, will give you 9,000. Okay, all right, next, let's skip, let's see. So this one, I think it should be quite easy. Let's not do in class. For this one here, I would say get them to do B and C, right? It's just for demonstration purpose. B and D, sorry. So after they add the numbers up, right, they will know that this is 3879, so this is T. Okay, and then they do D, right? You'll know that 1,700 or 1,078 plus 5,420 will give you 6,498. So E is here. Okay, so you tell them this will be a science homework. Go back and find out which one is I, or rather, which one is 5,887. Okay, so yeah, right, because there are some other questions below, so that's why I'm skipping some of them here. All right, please take them through this question, right? Because here they need to do several steps here. Find the sum of numbers, show they're working. So they have to find the sum, then they have to compare the sums, then they have to say which one is greater, right? So this is the working, this is the steps, right? This is the steps here, okay? And then this is the comparison. So comparison, they can write either ways, as long as the sign is correct. Okay, all right, then get them to do one question on the spot, see whether they're able to get it, right? They can always refer to here. Okay, but the idea is just follow the steps, find the sum of these two numbers, find the sum of the next two numbers, then compare the sums. Okay, all right. Now, they can try 3 numbers as well. Okay, so this one you can try with them, which is, yeah, doesn't, maybe just demonstrate or get them to do one. It's just adding 3 numbers like that, right, on the table itself. Because some students will just add 1,031 to 2,824 first, right? Then the total plus this. Tell them that they can actually do it computative property of addition, right? By just adding, three, the 3 digits instead of adding 2 digits first, and then adding the 3rd digit. Okay, 16 will be a bit more complex. So depending on time, right? Definitely demonstrate how to do 16. Okay, so look at the question here. Each number is made up of 4 different digits, right? Highlight 4 different digits for them. Sum of 2 numbers is 4, 5, 6, 6, right? So there are 2 numbers, all 4 digits. And what are the 2 numbers? Direct forms, write down the possible pair. So in order to get 6, right, they have to figure out which digits will add up to get 6. Right? So they can write it out like that. 1 and 5 will give you 6. 2 and 4 will give you 6. 3 and 3 will give you 6. Okay. And so, eventually what they know is the 3 possible ways, right? There are 3 possible ways to get 6 given. So once they have written it out, I think what I'll suggest is for you to get them to do it like that. All right, so they try out the first pair. So for example, if this 1 and 5, right, then this must be 1. This is 5. Total must be 4, 5, 6, 6, right? Okay, then they have to figure out, right? Now that 5 is done, 1 is done, they got 2, 3, and 4. Right? So which one will give you? The next one is 6. So it'll be 3 and 3. Okay, and then after that, or they can trial and error, right? They can trial 2 and 4, but if you put 2 and 4 here, they'll realize that the next numbers they cannot get 5. Okay, so you do it. I think it's good to demonstrate, right? So here, let's see, yeah, if you write 2 and 4 here, you will not be able to get the other 2 digits will not be able to get you give you 5 in that sense. Okay, So hence, you can't use 3 and 3, right? You have to use the other one, which is, sorry, you can't use 2 and 4. So you can use 3 and 3. Okay, after that, what's left? You only have, let's see, you only have 2 and 4. Wait, you only have 2 and 4 left, but 2 and 4 will not give you, sorry, you have 1, 2, and 4, right? Because all these numbers, as long as it's different, so hence you can have 1 here, and then you can have 4 here. Right, so a bit complex, right? Take some time to do this. And then the final one, right, since now the numbers what you have left, which numbers will give you 4? Right, since 1 and 3 is done, you only have 2 left. This one, right, you can use 2 because 2 and 2 will give you 4. And that's only one set. Okay, so maybe demonstrate one set and then get them to do another set. Okay, and I think 17 will require demonstration as well, right? Because 17 is a bit complex. So please show them how to do it. Okay. Again, like I think the answer key here would provide a lot of clues, help to it should be able to get you or help you explain to the student how to do this. Right. So the last 2 questions you can just demonstrate. Make sure they understand. Take your time. Okay. For heuristics, okay, for this booklet, what I have in mind, right, is please teach slowly. There's no need to assign homework for this, right? Once they are, just cover as much as you can as possible. Check for understanding, right? Do all the questions if you can. Do as many questions as you can, and then keep the book, right? You don't have to assign it as homework. I think they will have a hard time doing this at home without guidance, right? So we got to take it slowly. Okay. There'll be more practices subsequently. Okay. So take your time. No need to assign as homework. So the only homework they're assigning is this piece here. Okay. Feel free to assign all, because since you're only getting one booklet back as homework. And that's it, right? For today's for this week's topic for primary 3.